YouTube, happy Friday night. Before I start this video, I have to address an issue that I've had. It's only with one person, but I have to comment on this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I've run into this in the 2 years I've had the channel. I've only run into this one other time. I'm going to handle this differently this time than I did last time, but I'm still going to call this person out. Allison Gruen, whoever you are, who you are, and I know you're not a female, so I don't know why you're calling yourself Allison. Females don't act that way. But if you're using your sister's account or whatever the case is, if you got a problem with me, message me. You know, first of all, I don't know you, so I don't know what I did to upset you so much, but stop with your hateful comments. As you've noticed, hopefully you've noticed, they get deleted immediately. When you comment, when anybody comments, I get a notification on my phone, and when I see your name, Allison Gruen, I go in and I delete it immediately. So nobody even sees these things but me. So please stop. If you're not going to stop, that's fine. I'll just continue to delete them immediately until I can find a way to block you from my channel, if that's even possible. But just stop. It's diecast. I just want to share my collection and have fun. There's no place on this channel for your hate. All right, everybody else, thank you. Sorry you had to hear that. Let's look at some awesome diecast. We'll start with pretty much everything here is from my haul tonight at the diecast meet. Some of this is just stuff that I found throughout the week. This car is a 1/18 scale Barago. I think it's a Barago. It could be a Maisto. They're basically the same thing. It is Barago. 1/18. It doesn't say, it doesn't give me a copyright date for the casting. And you can see there's what appears to be a little bit of play wear, but overall it's in really good condition. The steering is active and it actually does work. I think my favorite feature of the car is the full-size spare in the trunk. You just can't beat that. But I also love these prototypical wheels. They just look so good. And then you have period correct tires. So it's a very well done casting. The dash on this car is pretty amazing. It's an awesome car. Now I don't collect 1/18 scale, but when you throw something like this at me for $5, I'll find a place for it. That place is going to be my desk at work, where I have my 1/18 GTR and my Fairlady and my Diablo and my 510 and my Gremlin X. This car is going to fit right in there. Also, this car is also going to fit right in there. This is a 1/24 scale Barago Ferrari 250 GTO rather. Highly detailed. I mean, you would expect a 1/24 car to have this amount of detail. No excuse not to at this point. I love this grille. Check out this little floating Ferrari logo. That is killer. So this is going to look really good. This one came in the box. The box was covered in dust and it looks like it had been sitting in a garage for 10 years. And the plastic on the box was busted open, so all the dust got onto the car. So this one, while it's in much better condition than the Mercedes, there's no flea bites or anything in the Ferrari. It just needs a really good wipe down. So the Ferrari also has active steering like the Mercedes. Look at the pedals there. Very nice detail. So anyways, yeah, I mean, $5 a piece. Yes, please, I will take them. All right. Bear with me just a moment. We'll get to the 1/64, which I'm pretty sure is what you guys are most interested in anyways. We'll start with this casting here. I bought this because I have the other one that I picked up, which The other one that I have is very highly detailed. This one is nicely detailed, but it's not nearly as detailed as the other one that I have. Plus, this is a much shorter wheelbase, so it's not as big, although I do think it is scaled correctly. Now this one, for starters, has a plastic base. It has a much cheaper feel than the other one I have, but it does have rubber tires and true dually, and the tires, it's actually a softer rubber than what it looks like. But the back on this one does not open, although it does have nice detail. The one thing this one has that my other one doesn't, that I wish the other one did, is these lensed headlights. But even though this has lensed headlights, this front end pales in comparison to the front end detail. Something I'd be willing to trade should that opportunity ever present itself. But for $2, it was new in the package. I cracked it, so it's never played with. It's just dusty on this side, but other than that, it's in loose mint condition. So there's that. I'll start with the cars that I found at the store. I found this for $4.50. It's a cool little car. It's not $5 cool. This is from The Incredibles 2. It's made by a toy company called Jakks, which is one of the companies that was trying to save Toys R Us, because as a company, they are going to be in a world of pain when Toys R Us closes its doors. But the owner of this toy company is one of the guys that was trying to save. He was only trying to save, I think it was like 150 stores or something like that. For whatever reason, though, I think it fell through. I haven't heard anything about it in 3 months or so. Anyways, back to the car. It's almost looks like a combination between the two. The greenhouse on this casting is highly exaggerated. Now, it is a cartoon car, and it looks like a cartoon car. But it's still a cool little car to get to add to your collection. No lens detail, plastic base, plastic tires. Definitely not worth $5. But if you could find it for $2, maybe $3, it's a decent little casting. So I found that. Walmart, I found this guy. We've all seen this a million bazillion times, but this one does have that new tampo on the, well, right here. Other than that, it's about the same as all the others that have come out. The out-of-time license plate. Well, maybe this is a different license plate. But you got your tail light detail and all that good stuff. Anyways, you can never have too many time machines in your collection, especially metal on metal with real riders. So that was a Walmart find. Along with this one, I found 2 of these. Sold the other one tonight. Really cool car. It's basically the same car as the main line. For the most part, all the detail is. The only difference is this one here has a metal base and real rider wheels and tires. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same as the main line. The main line had all of this detail on the back. It may not have had the license plate, but it did have the Midas Monkey graphic, and it did have the tail light detail. So you're not getting a whole lot more with this car than you did the main line, other than the rubber tires and the metal base. This, though, compared to a lot of the entertainment cars they put out the last year, maybe 2 years, this is definitely one of the nicer cars, I think. Okay, the last 2 cars I found at the store was this guy here from Greenlight, Hot Pursuit 24, Ohio State Patrol, Dodge Charger Pursuit model. Awesome little car. transparent lens headlights and taillights, prototypical wheels. It's a car we've seen probably at least a dozen or two times from Greenlight. So with this one, I also found this one. This one I've left on the pegs a number of times. I bought it last night because I just went through one of those droughts where you just feel like you have to get something new. And this was only $4.80, so I thought, what the heck. It's a very nice little tooling though. I love the civilian deco on this car. This is the one that I had previous, and I think this one here, 2016, I think. But you can see the civilian deco, much nicer. I think. It is subjective. Okay, now, everything else that I'm going to show is haulage from the local diecast meet tonight. Real quick, set this down. One of the things that I found in casting, if you all are collectors of Greenlight, this is a must-have. I love this white one. To me, this is my favorite of the four that are out so far. I also did pick up these Target exclusive cars. Only one I wanted is the Fairlady, so those two are probably going to be available for anybody that would be interested. Alright, so that's the stuff I'm not going to crack. The rest of the stuff I've already cracked, so we'll just get right to it. We'll start with the Greenlight that I picked up tonight from Hollywood Series 20 Hawaii 5.0. We have the 1967 Ford Custom. Very cool car. I love the deco on this one. Really dig that gumball with the siren. The tires on this, but I could be mistaken. I don't know. Nice low number 453. Considering there's probably going to be 10,000 of these made, that's a pretty low number. First 5%. I've noticed too with some of my Greenlight stuff that I've picked up lately that's new, the rubber tires seem like they're getting a little bit softer, which is a good thing. For a while there, they were feeling like plastic with tread. Anyways, pick that up. Also from Greenlight Hollywood 20 Graveyard Cars, we got the 392 CUDA. I have mixed feelings about this. I like the deco, but I just have a really hard time with that plastic top. And you can see why. The car, if the top was part of the casting, it would be a very nice car. The problem with it is that the whole top is this transparent plastic, and when you throw the paint on it, it has a different finish than when you throw the paint on the Zamac. Look at it's a totally different shade of green. And that really bugs me. Plus, another thing I noticed with it, if you look at the windscreen, it's a very foggy plastic compared to what you normally get with Greenlight. So, I don't know. But as far as the Greenlight CUDAs go, I do think this is one of the nicer releases. So I grabbed that. So that's it for the Greenlight. We'll work our way. How about a Maisto? This was a Maisto, some kind of showcase collection car. This car came in the absolute worst packaging I've ever seen. The packaging, the car was like this, and you couldn't turn it to look at any of the angles because of the way it was packaged. But I only paid $1 for it. I think for $1 it was worth the risk to see if it was a decent casting or not. And it turns out it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I don't know that anybody else has done the Chevy SSR. Johnny Lightning might have done it, maybe. I know they did an HHR. But, you know, it's all painted detail. None of it's lensed. You do get plastic tires, which is a bummer. The way this car was packaged, you would have thought that it would have been one of the most premium cars you ever saw. But with all of that said, I do think it's a nice enough example of a Chevy SSR. Here's one. Everybody likes a Zamac Dotto. It's a cool truck. So the rest of this stuff is stuff that's kind of interesting that you don't see every day. In fact, in my 4 years collecting, I've never seen these next 3 cars. So if you go back, if you watch my channel, it's not where I get the most enthusiasm is for the import diecast. Kyosho, Tomica Limited Vintage, Konami, Auto Art, any of those brands. But I've always said if I could find a really nice vintage Ford in 1:64 scale, I would have to add it to my collection. When I say vintage, I'm not talking 50s, 60s. I'm talking like Model A, Model T. And in this case, that's what we have. We have a Hot Wheels 100% Ford Model T. Actually, while this is off, oh, darn it. It has a pretty cool looking engine under there. Now, the wheels and tires are highly inaccurate. But if you can get past that, it's a pretty decent example of a Ford Model T. If any of you know a true 1:64 scale Model T that is nicer than this, please comment below. I would like to take a look at it. Most of these Ford Model Ts that you come across in diecast are 1:55 scale, even upwards of 1:43 scale. This one here, I think, is pretty true 1/64. If anything, it might be a little bit small. Here's a scale reference to the 67 Ford Custom. And this Model T came in one of them Hot Wheels oil cans. I'm happy to have it. One thing is for sure, this thing is like, has some beefy suspension. Probably the oldest car in my entire collection, right here. Oh, oldest model. Okay, well, just knock the tree down. Now we got oranges everywhere. Got a citrus party here. All right, let's take a look at these last 3 and then we'll wrap this up. This is a Hot Wheels 100% 2-pack. It's George Barris. It's called the a la carte. Looks to be based off of an old Ford pickup, maybe. I don't know. It's an awesome little casting. There's a lot of detail on this. Metal body, metal base, rubber tires with tread. A lot of detail going on down here with your drivetrain. Tail lights. I'm not sure if the front ones are lensed. I don't think they are. It is possible that they are. The other car that came with this definitely has lensed headlights. It's hard to tell with this one, though. It looks like it might. Whenever they do that, though, whenever they put lenses on chrome like that, sometimes it can be hard to notice. These, for sure, are definitely wheels back in 2002 before he married up with M2. I think this is a right. Rubber tires with tread. Very, very, very nice. So anyway, so that was a 2-pack. I paid for that little 2-pack $3. Hot Wheels 100%. They came in an... Ooh, it is Auto World. Beautiful ultra red Cutlass. This is one of the cleanest ultra reds I've ever had in my collection. When I say cleanest, what I'm referring to is the finish, the paint finish, or if it's the application process or what the deal is, but you almost always, if you guys have an Ultra Red, go pull your Ultra Reds out and look at them very closely. You will find paint flaws on more than half. But this one here really doesn't seem to have any. That might be one there, but if you call that a flaw, that's definitely nothing compared to some of the other flaws I've seen. Absolutely beautiful Ultra Red. I'm very happy to have that. I love it. Always remember with your Auto World, keep your plastic cellophane, keep your box. And from there, it simply slides right in. Well, maybe not. Maybe not simply, but we'll get it in there. There we go. So when you have it in the molding and then you put it in the box, you know, everybody knows, oh, you have the box for the car. But I think a lot of people don't realize that the molding keeps the car from moving around. So that's my haul. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me for 27 minutes. And Allison Gruen, please find another channel. Everybody else, thank you very much for all of your continued support. We're chipping away almost to 5,000. Gotta tell you, if I get to 5 grand, I think I'm gonna have to do something big. Something big. I'll have to figure something out. I've done a whole bunch of giveaways when I hit the milestone numbers, but 5,000 is different, so I'll have to think of something. But anyways, thank you everybody. Much love. You guys have a great weekend. Happy hunting. I will holler at you all at the next video.